Here comes the Mac.
Elaine, can you show us how smart the model is?
Sure, thanks so much, Mark. I'm Elaine. Reasoning ChatGPT's ability to think deeply through complex problems is now built into GPT-5. It will automatically think whenever needed, delivering a more comprehensive, accurate, and detailed answer to you. Just as Sam said, it's like having a team of PhDs in your pocket. So let's see that in action. Suppose your kid is in middle school physics and they want to learn
I cannot, I'm sorry, but I can't understand what she's saying. I mean, I got the captions underneath, but...
about Bernoulli effect. They need your help with their homework, and you might be like, wait, I might need some help with that too. So you could ask GPT-5, give me a quick refresher on the Bernoulli effect and why airplanes are the shape they are. Since this is a pretty straightforward prompt, GPT-5 actually doesn't need extra time to think about it and answers right away.
So they asked, give me a quick refresher on the Bernoulli effect and why airplanes are the shape they are. And then you get the answer here.
But it still gives me a high quality answer and explains the concept clearly. So here it says like Bernoulli effect means like faster moving fluid has lower pressure and slowly moving fluid has higher pressure. So to make this even more helpful, I'm going to ask GPT-5 to create a moving demo to illustrate this. So I could ask, explain this in detail and create a moving SVG in the canvas.
All right, so she's going to change it up here, where instead of getting a text answer or a readable explanation, she's going to ask it to create some visualization of exactly what the answer is.
This tool to show me. This is a pretty complex task because now GPT-5 actually needs to build the visual. Therefore, GPT-5 takes a moment to think through the answer so you can come back with something more comprehensive and accurate. What's really nice is that you don't need to remember to turn on thinking each time. GPT-5 will do it for you automatically whenever the task benefits from deeper reasoning. If you really want to make sure that GPT-5 uses thinking, you can either say something like, think hard about this in the prompt to guide the model, or if you're a paid
like writing
user,
some code in the back.
You can choose the GPT-5 thinking model from the model picker. Now you can see that the model is actually writing the front-end code to build the demo I asked for. So Christina, have you ever done some front-end coding before?
Yeah, actually the last time I touched any front-end coding was about 3 years ago for the first demo of ChatGPT.
Wow, so it's the first ChatGPT. That's where it all begins. Tell us more about it.
It wasn't even called ChatGPT then. I think it was called Chat with GPT.
That's a really good name.
Always good at naming. But I'm not a front-end expert, and I really hadn't touched front-end in quite a while. So.
Well, it looks like he's the next one to get laid off.
So it took me quite a bit of time to get the React app up.
I see. That's a lot of work. So how long did it take you to build something like that?
Honestly, maybe embarrassing to admit, like a week.
Well, but your weeks of hard work actually paid off well. See how successful ChatGPT it is today after your first demo. So you know what? I'm also building a demo right now, but luckily I have GPT-5 with me right now, and let's see how long it will take this time.
Maybe you should call it 5 with GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you see that GPT-5 has already written like more than 200 lines of...
This thing, I don't know if you guys are watching the background, the monitor of it's showing the mirror of the Mac that she's using. This thing is just writing code. Like I've been around developers, and that whatever it's writing, I mean, I don't know what line it's at. I think it's around I don't know, it could be like 300, line 300 or something, 400. To write all that, it could take a couple of days, especially, you know, going back and reviewing the code and you know, taking out all the bugs, all the errors. and this thing is just writing it. I mean, it's just going nuts trying to figure out how to build this thing, and it's doing it super fast.
Code already. And while the model
There
is
it goes.
thinking, you can also
It's at almost at line 300 of the code.
tap here to expand the chain of thought to actually see what's going on under the hood. For example, the GPT-5 was thinking about,
And I mean, in a year, this thing is gonna just like speed, like it's gonna go in hyperdrive when it starts running this thing. Like we're just seeing the initial start of how it's thinking as a developer to code this.
the user wants a moving SVG visualization in Canvas. I actually need to create HTML code to do that. It also think about like what kind of front-end tool I need to use, for example, React and Tailwind. It also thinks about, I need to ensure the physics are accurate. I need to check what the Bernoulli.
So on the left side, next to her, she's showing that there's a tab where it's showing you how it's thinking as it's writing the code like super fast. It's actually showing you its thought of what it's doing while it's coding. You know, so that's just it's crazy. That's nuts.
Principle is. So Christina, since you're here from the first day of ChatGPT, can you tell us like what it was like at that time and what motivated ChatGPT?
Yeah, I think at the time we weren't really sure about like how people would actually use it and what use cases were important. We were even going back and forth about maybe we should be releasing something that's like more specific to a certain use case. And it's really cool now here that we have we have a much better understanding of how people actually want to work with chat, and we can actually optimize the model for those use cases, like coding.
Yeah, exactly. Do you still remember how it felt like when you first talked to ChatGPT, like the first version of the model?
Yes, I don't know if people remember when the first version of ChatGPT would always start, as an AI model, I can't do something. And it's so great to see how far we've come from that personality.
All right, so I think it stopped. So let's see.
Yeah, it's much more human-like right now. Okay, so it's already done. So look like ChatGPT just finished like 300 or we're near 400 lines of code in 2
400 lines of code.
minutes.
Wait.
So finished like 300 or we're near 400 lines of code in 2 minutes.
400 lines of code? 400 lines of code in 2 minutes. If you're a developer, let me know how long it would take to do. I don't know what. Let me see. Let's see the results first.
So let's see if the code can actually run. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Nice.
wow, here we go.
Yeah. So with just a simple prompt, GPT-5 created this interactive and engaging demo that I can actually play with.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So for all you aerial fanatics, you know, this is showing you. So now, like that, you see, this is the cool part. You see the visualization of what it is, and it's showing you basically the bottom is the wing of an airplane, showing you the low pressure and the high pressure as it's moving forward, and you can adjust like angle of attack, airspeed.
So I can actually change the airspeed here to see how the lift and the pressure change accordingly. I can also tweak the angle of attack to see if my plane will actually fly or crash.
I hope not.
Yeah. So GPT-5 can just bring any hardcore concept.
I don't know. It's already, what is it? 15 minutes in, and it's already blowing my mind. I mean, we're talking about education system disruption to a level that we haven't seen before. I mean, we're talking about, I don't know. Schools need to really embrace this fast, because it's a whole new learning curve for schools, for students that are going in, and a professor teaching you the Bernoulli effect, someone looks it up, goes on ChatGPT and can figure this out and understand it better. It's always like, what is the Bernoulli effect? I don't understand what you're saying and how it works. And you're just asking now this thing to, it's like, I don't understand. Can you make it like super dumb for me so I can understand it? And it's creating a visualization of exactly what it is, and then you can build upon it. It's just, this is pretty crazy.
Concept to life in moments. Imagine you can use this for anything that you're interested in, whether it's math, physics, chemistry, or biology. GPT-5 just makes learning so much more approachable and
Here's another for the list, career paths and current situation. Since, GPT-5, going back to GPT-5 is now currently the adult version of higher education or after college, university. They are now, GPT-5 is now entering the workforce, career paths and experiences. So, based on the education system and how it will slowly affect now, based on what you just showed us in the demo, the education system. So another thing on the list to think about, how it will disrupt anything related to education or teaching in the future.
enjoyable. Learning math, physics, chemistry, or biology. GPT-5 just makes learning so much more approachable and enjoyable.
Thanks, Elaine. I've been a part of ChatGPT since day one, and it's really cool to see all the progress we made since then, especially with capabilities like writing. Writing is one of the most common use cases people have been using ChatGPT for, and we're excited to say with GPT-5, we've improved the writing quality significantly. It's a much more effective partner. It can help you elevate anything from drafts to emails and even stories.
I'm really interested in this. I'm terrible at writing. Horrible. Terrible. So let's see how it's gonna help me in that. So let's do it.
Let's see this in action. So with GPT-5, we'll actually be deprecating all of our previous models. I think they've done a pretty good job, so let's make sure we can give them a proper goodbye. So we're going to ask both 4.0 and GPT-5 to write a eulogy to our previous ChatGPT models. We want it to be heartfelt and heartwarming, but also hopeful. So let's ask GPT-5 for it. And as it's thinking, we're actually going to go ahead and read the 4.0 response. So 4.0 decides to start with...
By the way, this is going back also to anybody in the education system, schools, high school, college, university. The biggest problem right now is these kids, these students, using GPT for all kinds of writing purposes. So this thing is just pumping out the writing. It's basically just giving you the way it should be written or how to write it. It's disrupting that zone or area in the school. So let's see where it goes.
Today, as we prepare to welcome GPT-5 into the world, we gather to bid a heartfelt farewell to the models that came before. It's a decent start. Now, let's kind of skim through and find another line. Your words reached across the globe, building connections where there had been none. I personally don't really like this line because it's rather generic and really without the previous context, it just feels like it could be about anything and feels more like a templated response. Now, let's go back to GPT-5 to see what it's given us. It starts with friends, colleagues, curious strangers who became regulars. Even with this just first line here, we can see that GPT-5 has a lot more rhythm and beat to its prose than 4.0 did.
All right, so it already corrected the first line. What was it? What she had before? A farewell to our old friends turned into friends, colleagues, curious strangers who became regulars.
Colleagues, curious strangers who became regulars. even with this just first line here, we can see that GPT-5 has a lot more rhythm and beat to its prose than 4.0 did. Now let's find some other lines here. I actually like this. These models help millions write first lines, last lines, bridge language gaps, pass tests, argue better, soften emails, and say things they couldn't quite say alone. I really like this line because it shows that it's not just a templated response, and it's actually quite personal, and it gets the nuance of the situation right. And I think that's the kind of stuff that GPT-5 does much better than 4.0 than before. It actually makes things a lot more genuine and emotionally resonant with people. With GPT-5, the responses feel less like AI and more like you're chatting with your high IQ and EQ friend.
So going back, it's all the answers now are going to become more natural and emotional. They're not going to feel robotic or like straightforward, you know, like cold. It's going to have warmth. It's going to have emotion. It's going to be written in a way that you tell it to. I mean, you could tell it exactly how you want this written. You could tell it, write it like a you know, like a high school student, write it like a college student, write it like a I don't know, like a high school dropout, you know, working at whatever, and they just know, you know, third, fourth grade English. Write it just like that, and it will do it. That's the part that's gonna be just crazy, because you're directing the way you want it to speak for you, or at least spit out whatever you're trying to say.